Hi ho everybody and welcome back to D plus S Weekly, the show where we talk about shows episode by episode, kind of week by week, for our enjoyment and yours. I'm one of your hosts, Griffin Tennell, Griffy D-Pad, and with me as always is the wonderful, the amazing Mr. Mitch George. We are here, Bright Suns.
Bright Suns. Bright Suns.
Andor is officially over. I am mourning that it is over,
It's not something to mourn over. It is.
but also I
It's one of
immediately
those things
rewatched it again.
where, I mean, didn't we all? It's one of those things where it's a shame it's over, but by golly, was it great to go along on that ride.
Mm-hmm. Really, goddamn, what a show, right? Like we've talked about it every week, like both in these episodes and back when we talked about season one, which was before we even did the YouTube. That was back when we were audio only. I think time is weird that way.
That sounds right.
Like these were a masterclass of storytelling. Um, just perfect, just genuinely perfect.
Tony Gilroy should be given a blank check to do whatever he wants in this universe at this point.
Yeah, he was asked what he wants to do next, and he's like, he's gonna go do other stuff for a bit. But I got a feeling that he'll come
Sure.
back. I got a
I
feeling
don't
that
really.
Star Wars will do what, or Lucasfilm will do whatever it takes to get Tony Gilroy to do something else with them.
I don't even know if it's even if it's not Lucasfilm that gets it back. This has put him on the map as a creator where whatever he does next, I'm there.
Yeah, same. Like, I would highly recommend reading or watching any of the interviews this man has done about Andor, because this man is fully with his chest calling out everything that's happening right now in the US and the world in general. This man is firmly talking about the fascist elements of the empire within this. He had this great quote that I'm going to absolutely butcher, so I'm not going to say it perfectly. But when it comes to like Dedra's story, it's like, no, fascism eats everybody, especially the people within it. Like, the fact that they were able to hit so much nuance and so many sides from a franchise that we had kind of forgotten that was possible in a way. Like, all my applause to him. I think these last three episodes were a perfect ending to this, a perfect lead into Rogue One. I was not expecting it to be that much of a lead into Rogue One.
I mean, with where episode 11 left off, I fully expected and got that episode 12 was this is literally the prequel to the movie.
So I got that they were going to do it. I did not think that the ending was going to be him getting on the ship to go to the start of that movie. I also thought it was really interesting with this. You know, season one ends with this massive climactic event, right? Like,
Mhm.
this is a revolution. It is the people in the streets taking on the empire. It was so interesting, the dichotomy of that to this finale, where it's ending with they get Lonnie out of Coruscant, and then we have like almost an entire episode of, no, we're going to have these conversations because we have to.
Well, they don't get Lonnie out of Coruscant.
Or who does? I said Lonnie. I meant Clea.
Lonnie definitely doesn't make it off Coruscant.
I'm mixing up names here, man.
I think what's nice here is that with the way that the story was told and with the way that it's been presented to the viewer, I mean, Star Wars has always been presented non-chronologically. So I don't see the finale here as just, oh, it kind of ended on just setting up the future, rah resistance, all that. Tony Gilroy did something very interesting here where, I mean, he worked on the screenplay for Rogue One. Movie was out, movie did its thing, but he wrote the prequel, but the finale is already out, if that makes sense. Like, I look at Rogue One now in a different light than I did prior to this show, and that's very interesting, where it's Rogue One for me is no longer a film. Rogue One for me is the climax of the story told through seasons 1 and 2 of Andor. It is an extended episode of Andor. It is not a standalone film. And I think that's what's so great about the way that the Star Wars universe is interconnected. I mean, again, I hate drawing this parallel, and I know you're going to kill me again, but
I mean, it's because you
it
make
is
it so often.
okay. Fine, I won't make it this time, but um, Star Wars has this very interesting ability to be able to just fill in these gaps and make previously presented stories whole, as opposed to it being, you've got movies and interstitials and this sort of thing, right? Like, I think a prime example of that is you look at the Clone Wars cartoon, where the first 3 episodes were just spun out and put into theaters. And for me, that's what Rogue One now feels like. Of Rogue One is just an extended episode of this show, with how seamlessly we can blend the themes and the story and the characters and the through line into Rogue One. Um, I do kind of love where we ended on pretty much every character,
Dude, like
especially Dedra.
Dedra as well, but
The-
like Clea for me was the standout. That was such a character that I was like, I liked her in season 1. I love her in season 2. Having to go through this with killing Luthen, right? Like,
yeah,
and having to live with that in a place that they all hate his guts.
and
Like,
by extension, her.
mhm. And he was her dad. Like having all of that interstitials with the backstory of that, and like no, she's always wanted to fight ever since she was a kid. Like genuinely, I love that so much. And like Elizabeth Delau was amazing in this. Shocking to see that she was hired on for this practically straight out of drama school.
Which I mean, we said this on last week's recording. Give her anything. I think there was an interview this week where she said her dream role would be Lara Croft. And now I can't not see that happening.
I mean, we're getting that new series, so
We are. There you go.
like,
Um,
but yeah, Daedra as well. Like, God, I love that ending, and it's like, no, yeah, she's just rotting in the prison that
the labor camp
labor
that
camp, yeah.
Andor was in the season 1, or a similarly regulated labor camp.
Exactly looking the same, but that's also just kind of the Empire's thing.
Exactly, and it just again it adds to the threat of Krennic going into Rogue One. Also, the fact that the entire Empire fell apart because someone filed some paperwork incorrectly and it ended up on Lonnie's desk is just chef's kiss. Like, the Empire fell due to bureaucracy,
Oh yeah, it
and
always.
that's just such. But I mean, we've never had it that
I
blatant
mean,
in Star Wars,
well, I think
but
it's
I
somewhat
absolutely
blatant
love
in
it.
Rogue One, right? Where it's like, no, it's because we have this file system organized this way that we can send this stuff off. And there's
Yeah,
always been those bits and pieces there where bureaucracy has always been the downfall of both sides, both the Republic and the Jedi Order and the uh, Republic is what they're called after
the New
the
New Republic.
New Republic, yeah, thank you. Like the bureaucracy has always been the sticking point, and so yeah, I love seeing that. That is always the issue here with a lot of these things. That's kind of one of those big Star Wars themes to me. Is yeah, bureaucracy will be the death of us all.
Yeah, but also, like, a couple of things before I get to the big thing that I want to talk about, at least. K2SO,
God, I love that
just
robot.
10 out of 10 no notes. Episode 11 is just K2SO being K2SO.
I love him. At the
And
same time, does feel a little weird in the show.
a little, but I still love the levity that's brought by that droid
Until
anytime he's
he
on
felt
screen.
weird until the moment that he just yeets the guy off the bridge.
The hallway fight was enough to be like, oh, okay, yeah,
For me, it
this
was
is who
like
we know.
I have loved this show because it hasn't felt like typical Star Wars, and it has been this
Yeah.
much darker, deeper, honest conversation. Um, in these last few
All,
episodes, as much as I love K2, it did feel like going back a little bit into the classic Star Wars format of, oh, here's the sassy droid. That
true.
said, it's K2, and I fucking love this droid.
Also, screw you, IMDb. Because if I had looked at this prior to having watched these episodes, the descriptions of the last 3 episodes are just spoilers. The entire thing. Like it's literally Luthen kills Lonnie. Deidre confronts him. Flashbacks. Clea ends his life support in hospital. Like it's full on spoilers.
I mean, we're about a week out at this point.
Still, like that's unnecessary. But yeah, I love that whole interaction. Again, I think it like the development of Clea in that 11th episode or 10 and 11 is just perfect. I mean, we talked over the last couple of weeks that I didn't see Luthen getting out of this show. I was proven correct. I am glad, however, that I was wrong about Dedra. I think the way that her story ends, with her being a victim of bureaucracy, and it could have gone a very different way. We see that with Partagaz in the last episode, where his journey, his service to the Empire ends a very different way.
Oh yeah, he has.
Didn't think we were going to get that, but we did.
Dude, in like weird, like from a story decision. Again, one of those events in a show that you have to be really particular about how you talk about it.
Oh yeah,
As a story decision, I loved it. Right, of him playing the speech from season one, him thinking back on it, seeing everything he's done. For all intents and purposes, he failed, and the rebellion is going to win, and he knows it in that moment. Like,
it's not even that he knows it in that moment. He knows it doesn't matter to him who wins and who loses. He has lost, so he has to choose between, the Emperor's wrath or taking it into his own hands.
which is ultimately going to lead to the same place either way, and he just decided to do it himself.
Yeah, took the coward's way out.
Mm-hmm. So much of this whole ending, right? Everything. Seeing Bix at the end.
Dude, that's where I want to. I don't know how much more you want to talk about these 3 episodes. That's where I need to end, because if we don't end it there, I'm gonna friggin' bawl on camera like that.
We'll end it there, because I don't want to keep talking about the show in general, because there's so much more to talk about. But yeah, all of the endings, whether it was that or like watching Cass pass by shoot, what is his name? Why can I not remember his name?
Woman,
or no, not woman. Prison dude.
Oh yeah, really Irish guy.
Yeah, very Irish dude. Like, oh my god, I forgot how thick his accent was until he started talking. Melshi. But like having them walk by each other at the end, and like both of them are training to go to their deaths the next day. Like having that realization, I think this is one of those moments where it's like this being a prequel makes it hit all the more harder.
I always give prequels a hard time because you know where the characters end up. But that last scene, like, it makes Andor's sacrifice that much, like, knowing how committed he is to the cause, not knowing what he's giving up. It just, like, I've got goosebumps right now. It's
in the way
it's indescribable to, like, I can't put into words how that scene felt as a new father. Like, it is the first time since Owen was born that I've had an emotional breakdown over story because it involved parenthood, and I can't even describe it. It was like almost like melancholy mixed with sadness mixed with hope. Like, it just
I think that's why it's such a beautiful ending for it. It's like Bix finally got that, and she is going to be continuing on the legacy of that family. But also it's knowing that, yeah, they're never going to see Cassian again. And like it is that ending on hope. I think that Star Wars is just so goddamn good at. Here's all of the shit that's happening. Here's all of the worst possible things that could be happening. But here is that little glimmer of hope at the end to make you think that there's a shot. And in Bix's case, there very, very much is. They got it. They're done. They've succeeded. So much of this show is so good in that regard. In terms of one other thing I want to mention, um, just kind of about that last episode in general, is the council of the bickering of them. Like, I loved seeing that because it's like they are bickering and frustrating when we get into Rogue One. And I love that we still had that here. Like, they couldn't be on great terms yet. They couldn't have this
No.
shit together. God, I wanted to reach through the screen and punch every last one of them except for Mon Mothma. Like, at one point, like, there's the one lady who just starts talking mad shit about Luthen.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, yeah, fuck you. This the show is really special. I think this is one of the most important, I think, pieces of media that Star Wars has ever made.
I mean, it does so much to strengthen the mythos of Star Wars without the use of a single lightsaber, which I think just is to its benefit. I had this. I mean, I wish I understand why we got the hallway scene in Rogue One, but this show feels so lived in and grounded and real, just given the geopolitical events going on surrounding the writing and release of the show,
Well, I think
ending on that single shot of hope. It's just
I stand by it that the best movies, the best TV shows are a mirror to what's going on in the world.
yeah.
And I think that this is
And
such a special mirror in the way it handles it that it is something that I will remember forever. And that I
I,
can't say that about a lot of the stuff we talk about.
yeah, I mean, time and place play a factor as well. For me, I can't like. I mean, me number one prequel internet skeptic in the universe. I don't see a universe in which something else comes out that means more to me as an individual than this show. Entirely due to that single shot at the end. Like, it's perfect. I've never experienced a show that's perfect. And this is it.
God damn if that's not one hell of a note to end on. Y'all, if you've somehow gotten to this review of the finale of this show and you have not seen this show,
Thank you.
first off, yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening just in general.
Love you.
Go watch the show. Even if you've watched it, go watch it again.
I'm gonna I'm watching Rogue One for the third time since I watched the finale right after we finished recording.
Mm-hmm. This is a very special show, and it's been a pleasure to talk about it. Now I have to go into the rigmarole, of course, folks. I'm sorry. This is the ending of this show, which means we will be doing another show coming up soon. That will be Ironheart. Ironheart is the next show that we will be talking about.
I still haven't watched that trailer.
I have. It's really good. I'm really excited. Also, why did it take them so long to give us a goddamn trailer? What the fuck, Marvel?
Because this show, yeah, there's a lot we're gonna talk about when that show comes out. Because, yeah.
Anyways, folks, we will be back then for this, but go check out all the other stuff. Go check out the regular show. Go check out anything and everything. And until next time, be good to each other, bright suns, and have a magical day.